2, 1, 0. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. Phenomena. Tiptoe through the tulips with me.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
Dark supernatural. This one's explosive.
Put your pod passion on autopilot, because we're going to cruise on through reeling and feeling the para bracket. The TSR Truthcast is back at it.
You're listening to Talk Supernatural Radio once again, where we bring it to you live from the U.S. to the U.K., up north to down under, and Rhode Island to Easter Island, Happy Corner, Maine to Lower Pigpen, North Carolina. And if you're listening, you are right where you're supposed to be.
Well, and if you're good with that,
here we go.
The views and opinions and personalities expressed on this show are those solely of TSR and do represent who we are and what we believe. If you don't like satire, if you find rabbit trailing annoying, if you don't like to laugh, if you can't handle the truth, do not listen to this show. We are not responsible for your nightmares, denial issues, bleeding ears, or annoyance. Thanks for listening. We are Scott and Heidi Linden, your Truthcast duo, live once again to give you truth, scary, and satire. We're going to expose darkness and spit on denial. We're airing bizarre reality with news, laughs, facts, experiences, stories, and words to live right by.
That's right, our words. It's once again a TSR Friday night, and we hope your week went well, was worthwhile. Last week, we did a story on artificial intelligence and transhumanism. We got flooded with emails and comments. Most of them were good, and a few not so much.
What? You mean somebody disagrees with us? Come on.
No.
Well, you know, if they want to be wrong, they can be wrong.
It's okay. It said that strength lies in differences, not similarities. But I think strength lies in truth, and peace lies in respect. And there's such an absence of both in this world. So I was a little surprised but happy that all our emails that we got, even the ones that disagreed with us, were very respectful and they were pretty good. Not everyone can be as cool as us.
Nope, they can't. That's pretty much an impossibility.
We are going to read a couple of those emails in a minute. But first I wanted to add on...
Stupid they are, yes.
I wanted to add on to last week's story about those lifelike AIs that we were talking about. Because in China, the University of Science and Technology, they actually made a fembot, Gia, and I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's deemed the robot goddess. I'll tell you why in a second. But they made her look like a female in her 20s, and she is said to be the world's most realistically looking robot yet. She can move and speak in sync with her lip movements. And if you guys looked at the links that I put up on Facebook and stuff, you'll see that some of those wore off a little bit.
Sure. But you know, as quickly as technology grows, it's not going to take very long to straighten it out.
Yeah, that's just like a little glitch. Like, no big deal.
No big deal. We got that.
You can run your whole life through your watch. I think they can fix that.
You're going to be walking down the street one day, you're not going to know who is who or what is what.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
To me, that's creepy.
You have to run around with a remote and shut people off as they go by.
Well, Gia is like so normal that she says normal chick things like, don't come too close to me when you're taking a picture. It'll make my face look fat. Which is just crazy that, but that's what they're doing. They're taking real life people and real experiences and stuff. Uh-huh. She can even naturally roll her eyes like a woman. That's what we do. It's a cloud-based system to store memories, and she is programmed to recognize humans and machine interactions. So she'll be able to, she knows you at one point, she'll always know who you are.
Destroy.
I hope not. The team director said that they hope to develop the robot so it has deep learning abilities, and they will add facial expression recognition. They're going to make it interact deeply with people. I don't know what that means, but that's just... Yes. Eventually, it's going to be able to laugh and cry like a real human. And the guy who made it eventually wants her to become a robot goddess. Those are his words.
It's going to be like, it's kind of like your windshield washer fluid.
Yeah.
So when she starts crying, and the robot starts crying, it's all dry. It's like, oh, gotta fill you up.
Yeah, where's the
Bring
water?
over the saline.
That's it. Where's the water going to come from? I think
We gotta load it up.
That's weird.
Oh, you're low on tears. Here.
Oh, that's... I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Okay.
Oops, wrong kind. You froze outside.
Like the Tin Man. Nice.
Your tears froze.
Oh, God.
Not enough salt.
So when this director guy said hello to Gia, it replied, "Yes, my lord. What can I do for you?" Yes, my lord. I mean, that's what people are going to do. Like, you're going to have all these weird guys with weird things going on in their head, and they're going to have all these robots. It only took 3 years for this technology team to build her, so imagine what they're going to be able to do.
And that's just, these are just some of the first ones.
It's a lot in 3 years.
I mean, obviously they've been experimenting with some of this stuff for a long time, but, it's once the technology is at one level, then you're just a matter of tweaking. It seems to go pretty fast. I mean, look at your video games now. Some of those video games, you play them, they are so real that it's getting... You're not far away from being able to have these characters on these video games and not know the difference between a real one and a fake one.
Well, it's weird because you would see like on YouTube and stuff. I watch a lot of little videos, and there's clips of girls because they think it's so funny how guys, their brothers and stuff are into video games, and they have clips of their brothers playing these games, and they have these female chicks in the video game, and their brothers are like, "God, she's so hot," and they start talking. And it's like, that's like a video game. It's a little weird. So imagine when you have a tangible, robot. Mm-hmm. That's going to be odd.
So we asked you guys to give us some feedback on what you thought of all this stuff, whether it be good or bad, and we got a lot.
Yeah, we did. So I'm only going to read a few.
Listen, we really
some good ones, some ones that were for AI and some that were against it. And some of these emails, I just took parts of the email because a lot of them were really long. Yeah. But I took, just different ones. I'll read the ones that were sort of for AI first. I don't know what I'm troubled more by, that there's artificial intelligence being made, or someone who thinks humans and robots are equal is making them. Scary. And that's from Kendra, which I totally agree with that. Like, it's different if you've got someone making these robots whose, like, full-blown attention is for all this positive stuff that's not going to rip away humanity, but the person that, a lot of these people that are making these are saying, robots and humans could be one, let's merge them. And it's like, that's where my problem comes in.
Yeah, it's like, no, they shouldn't be merged. One is the other.
Right.
One's not the same, know.
Yeah. Okay, this one. Scott, LOL. You said all we have to do is throw a robot in the shower to shut them down. Are they synthetically made to get wet, though? If not, we could save the robotic takeover by hosing the machines down. God doth save by water once again. That's Len from Lima, Ohio. And it's true. I wonder...
No, they're going to be fine.
They're going to be... Yeah, because you're going to be outside taking a stroll with your robot, and it's going to rain. And it's like the Tin Man. So,
there goes $3 million. Darn it.
Yeah, so
no,
I guess so.
They'll be good with that.
Well, we'll find ways. I'm 65 and I'm so lost on this AI topic. My idea of the tech world is a phone that doesn't have a cord. That's from Marta in San Jose, California. I'm with you, Marta.
Yeah, I know. The tech world is quick. It's fast.
Yeah.
Very fast. Very quick.
Can't even keep up with it even if you're on
We're
it.
behind.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's crazy.
You just... it's not so much that you choose always to be behind, but sometimes it's just a matter of cost. Can you afford to buy the latest technology and just your homeware stuff, a new computer, the best phone, the best this, the best that, and the more you run out of money, too. I mean, you can't
that stuff just doesn't interest me. Like, I'm really interested in nature and enjoying life, what life has to offer, not what we can offer life. So technology is nice when it works, but when it doesn't, oh, God, it's a pain. It's not worth it.
It's okay, Hyde.
All right.
Breath.
Okay. I'm good. Okay. I love you, man. All right. Awesome show this week.
Of course. Need not to say.
I can't believe you tied the Book of Romans, unnatural affection, into AI. I never thought about that. Stunned right now. Gold star for your Sunday school class. I know a little about these robots because CNBC does a segment on it occasionally. Hearing your reservations makes me see this progress in a completely different light. Thank you for your insight and passion. I love the show and I love the both of you. Mia from Kula, Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, she's like all comfortable in Hawaii.
Yeah, she don't need robots. She's got palm trees and coconuts.
Like, what's today? Oh, probably like 80 and perfect. What's tomorrow? Oh, like 80 and perfect.
Aw, I'm jealous, Mia.
Yeah. There's no reason she can't invite us over.
Right. And pay for it.
Just throw that in there.
You did an all right job of breaking down the whole AI into layman's terms. I'm familiar with it, but not in the capacity you gave. I like how you said the average person like you and I, we don't know up from down with this technology. Makes me feel stupid, but that's probably how they want us to feel. There's more in a mind and soul than any chip could hold. Thanks, but no thanks, being a 48. Jenny 8675309. I thought that was cute. And you know what? And I agree with that too. It's like, I like what she said. There's more in a mind and soul than any chip could hold. Yeah, these things can be really helpful, but
not according to the tech world. They figure that they're going to be able to get all that in there, and in their mind they will.
No, I disagree.
I said in their mind they will.
Yeah, I know, and they're wrong.
You know.
But Terminator is right. Will Smith ain't going to be able to help us, people. Sarah Connor's dead. Time to turn to God. That's Mike Wilson in Perth, Australia. Another one. He's like all happy in a nice, awesome place. Australia's nice.
Depends on what part of Australia. Maybe he's in the middle of it and he's like sweating to death.
Oh, is it bad there in the middle?
Yeah. Maybe there's some kangaroo jumping on his face.
They're going to have kangaroo robots for people in Australia. This world is divided by many things. I never thought humans and robots would be one of them. Wow, time to move to the outback. Jeremy Wislowski.
Oh, this works out really well, Jeremy,
Wisconsin.
because we'll hook you up with Mike.
Yeah.
He's in Australia, and so you can go over there, and then
we'll
you'll be in the outback. And then hopefully Mike has good experience in the outback. He'll know what to do.
And we'll go to Hawaii with Mia.
And we'll go to Hawaii. And then... Yeah.
That works out. I like that.
I mean, Hawaii doesn't need in this robotic junk.
But
They've got their own little paradise thing.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not going to put robots in Hawaii because when it overflows with lava, all the robots are going to die.
Yeah.
Maybe
they're lava-proof.
Oh, they'll probably have to make lava-proof. Another thing about these artificial intelligent robots and programmed cells is that they'll all be tied in together and no one will have any privacy. They say we will, but we won't. Not that they don't probably already watch us through TVs, cell phones, computers, so forth. But all these household robots will be connected and everyone could have access to your biz, like your neighbors, and enemies. That's Xander in Philly.
And that was a good point, Xander. And as we read this, I think it was a day or two after the podcast, I was like, that's a good point. There's going to be a command and say, oh, no, they'll be separate. No, nothing is separate.
All that stuff's tied in together.
Everything's tied in electrically. Everything is zoned in together.
Like you can't go on Amazon and do a search, and then the next day you're on Facebook, and all these ads come up, and they're like, how do they know I want to go to Hawaii?
Yeah. I mean, no, it doesn't mean we should be running around in fear like, because usually if you have nothing to hide, you really don't really care what you're doing. Yeah, I don't care. But the point is that this technology is going to advance itself and be programmed. And there's going to be a command center. If someone one day decides, you know what, this little city over here has got issues and problems and there's a disease going on, well, we'll just click a couple buttons here and either robots that are in the area will destroy all the human life, get rid of the disease, there we go, problem solved. And we can just take the media and wash that away and we can just do whatever we want. I mean...
And you know what I thought about, too? I thought about... and I'm sure these robots are going to just be too expensive for the average person to buy, but eventually they might be just like, really nice cars are becoming very affordable.
Now people get cars that don't drive themselves.
Right. But if you have a robot and someone, let's say your neighbor has a robot, and the robot is really, the person that owns the robot is really, really smart, knows how to manipulate things and different things, who knows what you could do with that robot? Change it commands to go hurt somebody, kill somebody. So, I mean, there's just so many variables in this.
Well, techies will always tell you, no, 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 no. And like I said last week,
but that one.
Always, always, always. Anything that's good can be used for evil.
Right.
Always has been, always will be. That's just the way it is. It's just a fact of life.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see. Where am I at? Okay. I've heard about these humanistic robots on the news in the past, but the candy-coated way they're presented never made me worried. Your show always explains how we're not in this rainbow world that the media and government want us to believe. Amber Paul in South Dakota. It's
Amen.
True. Who is to say those cells haven't already been used? And they're talking about now the programmable cells.
Sure.
Tested as chips and guinea pigs, we call our neighbors, our friends, even ourselves. You said it, super soldiers, Manchurian candidates, mental illness meds, alien abduction visions. Although it's too late, I think I'd rather have been one of the ignorant in all this. It's so sickening. I'm a blue pill kind of guy, I guess. Stephen E.
Stephen, I have to totally agree with you. We really don't know. We really don't know.
Don't know what?
Like he said, how do we know it hasn't already been done?
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't know that answer.
Yeah, there could be.
And to some extent, I have to agree with them. There's a portion of our lizard people who say, well, I don't want to know that, and I don't want to believe. And that's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you just don't want to know everything. You just don't want to know. It's like, you know what? I just don't want to know that.
Yeah.
I got enough on my plate, or I got enough worries in my life, or enough thoughts. And, this isn't for everybody. I mean, not everything you need to worry about. And sometimes you just have to stick it in your head, let it rattle around a little while, and leave it in there.
The stories that we did in the past about, and you hear all the time about the black-eyed children, about these weird little kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that it's demonic, and it very well could be. But I always wondered, it sounded robotic to me. What if it's they're testing things out? You don't know.
You don't know.
So
we really don't know. We know fractions. Even with our little podcasts and the information we send out, it's just fractions of what they've allowed to get out.
Oh, sure. Yeah, if they want to shut us down, they'll shut us down.
Yeah, it only takes a couple buttons to shut us down.
Okay, now these are the ones that were really for AI. A show well done, but are you all really surprised at this technology? The information is out everywhere, from tech magazines to television. The problem is man. He's too ignorant and or ill to do beyond what life hands him. Life demands more than making a buck in a nice little home in suburbia. Wake up. From BK in Scottsdale, Arizona. And you know what, BK, I agree with you to an extent. Like, I do believe that man has become lazy. And that's
Absolutely.
I do also feel that the government has made it that way, molded
Right.
it, and we've just sort of succumbed to it, which is, we're all responsible for our own actions. So, but do I think that making robots the answer? No.
Well, I don't have a problem with the robots either. I don't have a problem with any of it, but
I do have a problem with robots doing everything.
It's what it becomes, what it will turn into, what man is going to actually do with some of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like anything.
I just said it, and I'll repeat myself over and over, but there's going to be good, there's going to be bad.
Yeah.
It's the way it always goes. And the bad, how many of the bad is going to affect us? To what extent will they use the bad?
Right.
And we know we have a population problem. Nobody can deny that there's a world population problem. Well, all we really have to do is get some robots to take the place of some of these other tasks, and slowly we can kill off through sickness, disease, shots, all these different things. Get rid of the, the ones who just don't contribute.
Well, and
like us. Bye.
Well, and he talked about how, we shouldn't be surprised and we've become lazy. And that's true. But so if that's the problem, allowing us to become lazier isn't the answer either. Okay, well, you guys blew it, so now we're just going to make a bunch of robots.
Well, I don't want someone like that thinking, too, that just if you're not in the tech world, that somehow you're not lazy. That you're lazy because you don't know the tech savvy of the world.
Right.
Well, maybe I don't know all the tech savvy of the world, but
I'd like to see you change toilet.
Yeah, let's see you do some of the plumbing I do, mister. Remember, crap rolls downhill. Hope you ain't under me.
Okay, this one says, this is from Anthony from Mountain View, California. He says, I work for Google, and I can tell you this is a great company to work for. They give a lot of money to charity, are good to their employees, pay well, and they are also advancing this great earth for your children and mine. Robotics is nothing to be frightened of. Just wanted to get my 2 cents in because I heard you mention the machine intelligence research at Google. Google is your friend. Okay, that didn't sound creepy, haha, but you know what I mean. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't really bashing Google. I was just mentioning that they're doing this research too and funding a lot of it. But then when he posted this, someone had commented under it. And so this is sort of in response to what Anthony had put. Says, just because you work at Googleplex in your little cubicle with a sweet computer, gym, pool, and fat paycheck doesn't mean you know everything about Google. Not trying to diss you, dude, but take off the white collar and put on the truth goggles. Google is involved with satellites, NASA, NORAD, world travel for immunizations, worldwide data centers, Sun Microsystems to distribute technology with other companies, and not just our internet, but our phones, televisions, GPSs. Doesn't any of that bother you? Someone so powerful has their hands in everything we do. That's from Nathan M. in Minnesota.
Too much power, too much control.
Yeah, I guess.
And anytime you have that kind of power and control, it always goes. I mean, you take someone like Anthony there, he's working, he's like, this is a great place. And you know what? Maybe everybody that he's working for is great.
Right.
And they're doing a great job, and everything is just as he says. Them aren't the people you got to worry about, Anthony. It's the people you don't see.
You're right.
It's the people that you'll never see. It's the people that are sitting in places you don't even know where they're at. And they're the ones making bigger decisions on a bigger level that ultimately give them control and power, and they know how to do it. Then, little at a time. I mean, the first thing that, the first description of Satan in the Bible was subtle. The very first description of the serpent was subtle. This is the way power works. True power, true dominion works subtly, carefully, very manipulative, and doesn't do anything shocking or disturbing. So this very subtle movement of this and that, and of course you're always going to mask bad with good. It's the best way to do it. Anytime you were dealing with Satan biblically, I know I'm getting on a little bit of a rabbit trail here, but anytime they were dealing with Satan himself throughout the Bible, he always mixed truth, good, with lies. He mixed the two together. Always did it, always will. And this is the same way the world of power has done the same thing.
Yeah.
If you present enough good, you're going to fool a lot of people.
Oh, sure.
And then behind the scenes, ultimately, you're taking power and control and different things. You're like, oh no, that's not why. And yeah, there's some good in it. Of course, there's some good in it, but to what extent?
Yeah.
You talk about all this power and this control, and robots are going to do this, and robots are going to do that. Well, there's going to come a time where, where's your jobs? I mean, we don't need you to be standing there at the store, taking money and change, because we're going to go to a cashless society pretty darn soon anyways. Mm-hmm. So we don't need anybody handing you the nickels and the dimes and the dollars back. You're going to flash your little card or flash your little ID chip in your hand or your wrist or whatever, and you're going to be able to purchase things, or all the security alarms will be at the doors. You won't be able to steal anyway. So you say, oh, that's great. Look, that's perfect. Yeah, well, there's another job gone, and another job gone, and another job gone. Oh, we don't need those people. You know what? Eventually they won't need you. Because there's going to come a time when technology is going to take care of technology. Computers will program computers, and they already do. And they'll get to the point where the computers will be able to outthink and outprogram the human. And they'll say, we don't even need the humans to make the computers.
Right.
Computers make the computers. And you get just a handful of people that only do the distribution. That's another word. They're going to tease me on that one. Distribution.
That one too, absolutely, And I'm not, I got what they call a relaxed brain,
Yeah. Yeah, I know you have a relaxed brain.
Okay, anyways, go ahead.
Okay, Terminator and iRobot, really? Turn off the television and read a history book. Look at what mankind has done to themselves through the years and what they're continuing to do. A programmable being will never harm a person or kill. They won't break the law. They will not be programmed to cause harm. They can't get sick or spread disease. They'll have intelligence and endurance unlike any of us. They are the new immortal type. You should be thanking those of us who have taken part in their creations, not bashing us. Forrest O. in New York.
Just like I said, Forrest, remember that when your job is gone. Okay? Because, see, Forrest, the problem is you do get sick. You are going to age, you are going to get old, and you will no longer be needed. Nor will your siblings. Therefore, we can just simply have a computer take your position. Like you said yourself, they're smarter, they're better, they won't get sick. We don't need the human race. Only the elite will need to survive. And the ones that contribute to them survive. The computers can take care of all, and machines, robots can take care of all the menial tasks that we still need. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we won't need these people. It's like, oh, you're right. You're right, Forrest. Don't need them.
And I would just like to say that I am a strong believer in the Bible, so I don't think any of this Terminator stuff will come to pass.
No.
God will come back before that.
It's just another thing.
Yeah.
You know, stem cell research.
It's just the fact that they're trying to do it.
Robots or we have disease centers making diseases, and they're sending them diseases around, and we've got little some little airplanes that fly around and kill
crop
people.
circles and stuff.
No, not.
I don't know.
Not crop circle. Where did that come from?
No, not crop circles. What do you call them?
Drones.
Drones. I was thinking of
crop circle. What's a crop? What are you talking about that for?
I was thinking of chemtrails.
They've discovered that most of them have been made anyways.
Yeah, not crop circles. Chemtrails, I meant.
Chemtrails. All this little stuff. We can go on, and there's going to be plenty of ways to eliminate population, but the Bible says before it gets that bad.
I'm just laughing at myself. Sorry.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Circles. You mean crop circles?
I got tears in my eyes. I can't see. All right. So this is like in response to my little ad for the show. It says, raping our soul, isn't that a bit much? Automation is adding on to life. It'll fill in what we lack and add on where we need. This computerization progression is enhancing on life, not destroying it. It's people and thoughts like yours that's part of the problem, why we need this technology in the first place. If it wasn't for advancing intelligence, we'd coil back to the Stone Age. Virginia and California. Yeah. Well, I wasn't there present in the Stone Age, but you know what? And yeah, okay, there were a lot of negatives, like people died early because they didn't have advancements.
Well, here we are with all this so-called advancement in technology, yet we live in a time period, fact, that there's more disease and treatable diseases than ever recorded in
more
all of history. More violence than ever recorded in all of history. So let's look at our history books.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at what things were when there was morals and values. Computers are not going to fix our problems. Right way of thinking, morals, strong standards, the right leadership worldwide is going to make things better. If you think you're going to make a better computer to fix this and that, no, you won't.
You won't.
You're not
gonna. You're not gonna do it.
Not gonna happen.
Sorry, just
Wake
let
up.
you know.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
Yeah. Perhaps the problem really is that man is systematically succeeding and moving forward, and none of you are intelligent enough to keep up. Don't yell immoral just because you're not bright enough to grow with us. Tech Savvy Tim. Oh, that was probably the most meanest one, but that's
Tech
okay.
Savvy Tim.
So, you know what? I'm definitely not as smart as you, but I'd like to see you bake a cake and write a book.
No. Yeah, exactly. And that's where a lot of the tech world gets in. They feel because they're able to do technical things with computers and little things that they're smarter. They're not smarter. They have an intelligence in that area.
Yeah.
I have intelligence in other area.
Well, I'd rather be nice than smart, so it doesn't matter. This one is from Mac from Redland, Oregon. I believe you're giving Hollywood and conspiracy too much credit. Invention and biometrics is simply a greater way to improve a world much in need of help. Have you seen the way this world is going? We need the help. And we do. We
need the help, but the technology is not going to help us with the real problems. The real problems is people can't get along.
Yeah.
I mean, now they're wanting to add a third bathroom into the stores, so that the people that are not sure if they're male or female have a place to go to the bathroom.
No, they just want one bathroom.
Oh,
not
one bathroom.
Third. They don't want a third bathroom.
They want one bathroom for everybody.
Yeah.
That's going to be a problem.
Right. That's the problem.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. I know, but they are. They can.
Yeah.
So
that's not going to work.
I know. So. All right. Well, so those are our
They
emails.
should just stick a porta potty out there for everybody else. You got a bathroom. The laws were there. You go.
We could put like this crazy symbol on it, and no one will know who it's for.
All these people that think, that's right, and then they did a little study and found out that's like, yeah, no. Mm-hmm. The customers don't like it. They want their own bathroom.
Yeah, because people have kids and stuff, and there's a lot of weirdos out there. But but we did get a lot of good emails, and we did actually those. I think there might have been one or two more like ones that were for AI that were sort of negative, but. We mostly got people that were in agreement with us that maybe we should just chill out and we can have the technology, but let's just not overdo it. So,
yeah, but
how much is too much, right?
We won't have the control over that anyways.
Yeah, so it won't matter.
Yeah.
So just keep watching the Kardashian family shows.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is time for actual news.
Interesting.
Headlines.
Okay, so Wednesday was a National Lookalike Day. And by coincidence, a couple days, either the day before it or a couple days before that, there was this photo going around that went viral. Sanders Parker posted on Reddit an old photo of his great-great-grandfather, and he looked so much like Matthew McConaughey. You know, he's that guy in that car thing, but he's an actor. And so everybody was like, oh my gosh. So then another one that was going viral by coincidence too was an old guest from Maury Povich show from a long time ago. It's a girl and she looks like Ted Cruz. It's so funny. And they also had a picture of him next to Grandpa Munster from the Munsters, like just like him. And then they had another one that said he looked like some guy from, remember the old 80s rock band Stryper? They were in black.
They're old?
Yeah. 80s is old. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. Come on. Get out of denial, Scott. We're old. But I don't think he looked like the Stryper guy. So, but anyways, so there's a lot of old photos that look like famous people. They had some pictures of Nicolas Cage. There were so many lookalikes from history of Nicolas Cage. It's like, okay, this guy's got a huge genealogy or something.
Yeah.
So there were like famous people that look like him, soldiers, statues, drawings. And then the guy who I absolutely loved from Terminator, Shia LaBeouf, he looks like Albert Einstein when Albert Einstein was young. It's like, wow, that's so weird. But then, you know, everybody's like, that's so creepy. But the thing is, we're all derived from the same genealogy. You got Adam and Eve, and then they had Cain and Abel. Obviously, we know Cain, well, most of us know Cain killed Abel. So then they had Seth, and Noah was a descendant of Seth, and then Noah's sons are our
world's descendants.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're all going to look alike in one way or another. Like, they say everybody's got at least one or two lookalikes.
I guess I look just like Noah.
Like Noah?
Huh?
You know what Noah looked like?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, see, I don't see it anymore. In pictures, like someone said he looked like Bono in that one picture.
Who?
Who what?
What are you saying?
You looked like Bono in a picture that I had of you, and a lot of people said, oh my God, he looks like Bono, for that singer from YouTube. Okay. And
Crop circle.
We're like, who? What? What's going on? Some people say you look like Bill Murray, but he's really aged, so you don't look like him anymore. You look like Bill Murray in his younger years when he was cute. And then...
Problem is, I didn't think Bill Murray was ever cute.
Well, you're a guy. I hope not.
I know, but...
Yeah, no, he was cute.
Yeah, no.
He got Sigourney Weaver. I am the Keymaster. She was all... She liked him. Yeah, a lot of people like Bill Murray.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so, DNA has many of us looking like people in our family, our parents and siblings and grandparents. Although it's not a phenomena, it's still sort of cool to see pictures in the
phenomena.
A lot of what we look like just comes from our DNA, and that is going to trickle down. So, but I'm going to have those pictures up on our Facebook page tonight because there are some
Because
funny
if you
ones.
got nothing else to do, you can look at the pictures.
I know a lot of people say I look like Megan Fox. I know, but...
Who are those people?
Oh, so many of them,
Where?
So, they're everywhere. But, it's like, no, guys, Heidi, she looks like me. Just kidding, okay? Just kidding. Well, not anymore, because she's all, like, weird, like Skeletor. Like, she did all that plastic surgery, so she's sort of ugly now. But, All right. So anyways, this is a neat story. I have this picture up too. They call it the divine ultrasound. You got to see this picture. I haven't showed it to you yet. An Indiana woman received a surprise at her prenatal checkup. Her name's Allie Meyer, and she shared a picture of her ultrasound on Facebook, and it appears to show the image of Christ on the cross. And this isn't like one of those things like, well, yeah, I could see. It's like, oh my God, that's weird. Like, it looks like she swallowed like a cross, and it's like laying in her womb. It's really weird looking. You got to see it. Meyer posted this picture, like I said, on Facebook, and it quickly went viral. She says she's getting a kick out of the popularity of the picture.
Yeah.
But she also thinks it may be a message from God because I guess she has Crohn's disease, and she's been on a lot of medication for it. And so she's been really worried about it and how it's going to affect this baby. So she feels it's God telling her everything.
You never know.
Like, I'm with you. I'm with this baby, so I don't know. Yeah.
You never know.
Here's an update on the Flint, Michigan water crisis conspiracy. If you guys don't know, we've been talking about this here and there. In April 2014, Flint, Michigan realized that their water was contaminated. They can't drink it. They can't bathe in it. It's a really small town, and when they were bringing it to like officials' attention, everybody was ignoring them. Now these kids are getting sick, and they're being poisoned. They have lifelong diseases and disabilities because of it, and now it's gotten way out of hand. And then now 2 state regulators and a Flint employee are charged with evidence tampering and several other felonies, misdemeanors and counts related to the city's lead-tainted water.
They just want to they got to find somebody to point fingers at and blame and do whatever they can to cover and hide and whatever. It's like, I wish I knew all the details of the situation, but it seems to me
it's covered up, so we don't know.
With all our so-called technical world here and how we're not so tech savvy or whatever, we really can't get some giant filtering systems in there and get this water, fixed and straightened out now.
Because it is a small town, you would think.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
help these people.
I mean, this is reaching nationwide
news,
and it's like,
well, they're delivering all these people are volunteering bottled water. It's like,
I don't care what the condition of the water is, or whatever. I mean, there ought to be ways of straightening this out and just get going on it. There's plenty of money being spent on foolish, stupid things. Well, just fix it.
Yeah, I agree.
States get together, countries, whatever, get these people some water.
But if you listen to our past podcasts, even before this story broke, we had a little bit of a story about Flint, Michigan before this happened, and it ties into this. So we think there's a lot more to it than what we hear on the news.
Not that we're conspiracy freaks, but you never know.
So these 3 guys have been charged. I think they're just scapegoats to sort of get people off their backs.
Yeah, they're goats.
All right. So a school closed down.
Not us.
A school closed down due to paranormal activity. For us, it began with a picture on Twitter that went viral. It was a dark silhouette. And
Bad water. Sorry.
What's with the sheep?
What sheep?
The one you're doing.
I'm not doing sheep.
You are. Okay. So this picture went out on Twitter. It went viral. It's a dark silhouette in an empty school hallway. So that's when we got the word of this news. But for them, it started weeks prior. I guess students and teachers, this is in Malaysia, they were claiming that paranormal encounters were going on in the hallways. People were seeing a black ghostly figure, and they said it was just roaming the hallways, teachers and students. So it's not just the kids. Well, then what happened was...
What happened was what?
One staff member says that she slipped or something, and she thinks she was tripped. So then all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Did you hear so-and-so?" You know how that telephone game gets spread around. She got slammed into a locker,
She was levitated 80 feet in the air, held there for 6 months, before the ghost finally let her go into a pile, a pivot of hell.
Or she slipped.
Or she slipped.
Yeah, but...
something like that.
One staff member believes that the students' disobedience has sparked this paranormal
activity. That's it.
And invited the spirits into our realm. But over 100 students began acting out, feeling that they were led and possessed by something unseen.
That's exactly what I would do if I wanted on a school.
Yeah, I was thinking, hey, that's a good one. I just always use grandma died.
But I'm feeling a little possessed.
I'm sick. I even used to, soak Raisin Bran overnight, and I'd put it around my toilet.
Spin your head around and call people over here and do it. Feeling possessed? I can help you with this, bro.
Did you hear what I said? I used to take Raisin Bran and soak it overnight, and I'd lay it around my toilet, and I'd make throw-up noises in the morning.
Did you?
Yeah. And I'd be
Are
like,
you kidding me?
No, and I'd be like, ugh.
You better hope there's no kids listening to that, because I could see where that would... You really did that?
And so my mom thought I was puking in the morning. I'd be like, oh, I'm so sick. And it was just old Raisin Bran. And she'd be like, oh, you better stay home.
How many times did you do that?
A couple times. Yeah, a few.
Oh, my goodness.
It worked, though.
Oh, yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, Raisin Bran, try it. Don't.
No.
No.
No one's keeping me home from school. I have to go to work. We don't eat.
So.
Heidi, bleh, I can't go to work today. Bleh.
Yeah.
Why's the milk out?
I was a sassy kid. I was sassy. Don't do that.
Kids, I hope you learned something here today.
Don't do as I do. Do as I say.
We thought Ferris Bueller had it going on with licking the palms and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. No. Oh, you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So anyways, I guess over 100 students started acting crazy or whatever. So the school said things got out of control, and they temporarily shut it down. Shut it down.
Off. Shut down education.
To free the school of the influx of spirits, the school brought in Islamic priests to read from the Quran.
Oh, that'll help.
As well as Malaysian witch doctors to perform
perfect.
exorcisms.
Perfect.
They say approximately 50 kids were said to be possessed. One of the Islamic healers, however, said that this is due to poor hygiene and lack of faith in Allah.
Allah.
So that's
If
what
you do not believe in Allah
you have to believe in Allah and
wash
shower.
your buttocks, you'll be sick.
The school will open once again once the supernatural takeover has ended. And for those traumatized by this, counselors will be made available to those feel that were affected by the incident.
For all those who feel possessed, you may go to room 1212 today. And you can see, Sister, Louie Bluey, and she's going to help you with the recent possession. Please bring your Quran.
And soap.
Soap for your lack of hygiene.
Oh my God, that's so
If
funny.
you haven't brushed your teeth the last 6 months, please go to room 1212.
Before Satan gets you. Okay, that's so funny.
Satan.
TV show finds castaway. This is a neat story. So on Animal Planet, there's a TV show, and Scott and I have watched it before, called River Monsters with Jeremy Wade. It's a pretty good show.
I'm Jeremy Wade, and I'm looking for a river monster.
That's good. In November, they were taping a search for exotic animals. Aminos. I'm still laughing about the other thing. I can't. My lips are.
Crop circles?
Wait, I'm trying to. I gotta shake it
What
off.
is that? What is that? What singers are supposed to? They're supposed to.
Yeah, they're supposed to do that. Loose lips or something. Tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue.
Tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue.
Exotic animals off Australia's coast. They discovered an island castaway, and I guess by coincidence they were joking, pulling up to this island, saying, "Oh, what if we find Tom Hanks?" How ironic that they find.
That's stupid. Tom Hanks is an actor.
God, he wouldn't be on the island unless he was like naked with his wife vacationing. God,
Spaulding.
Well, they were approaching this island, and it was uninhabited, but they noticed a cooler on the rocks. Then this guy with no clothes starts running out of a cave, waving his arms. I'd be like, okay.
Okay, let's not film here.
Is that an exotic animal? So he's waving his arms, and he's like yelling, over here, over here. It seems he'd been stranded about 2.5 days in over 100-degree temperatures with no water, food, or supplies. He did suffer heat stroke, and doctors say that those in those kinds of temperatures can go about 100 hours with an average temp. So 100 hours on an average temp, and he was in over 100 degrees.
With no water and stuff, right?
So he was not
very lucky.
The whole event was shown last week, actually, on the episode called Death Down Under.
We didn't actually get to see the episode. We found this in the news. But,
but they show repeats on that show all
the
time.
I know.
So we'll have to see it.
Imagine how glad he was.
I think I'm gonna. You could probably Google it or not. YouTube it.
I wonder if he had to wait until they were done filming to go home.
Probably not. They were probably like, "Oh, this is awesome. We need this. This is all new stuff."
Yeah,
and
can we put you in a cage?
Yeah.
Can you be our animal?
Can you go like an ape? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this was in the news, and it was just a little story that I want to go on a tangent about, so bear with me. This is about a bizarre church.
I'm bearing with you.
Oh, that's so lame. Oh, my. Are you practicing, like, lame jokes for when you're a grandpa? You know, grandpas do that. When our kids start having kids, we're going to be those people. Well, like, movie Meet the Parents 2, and Barbara Streisand is Fokker's mom. That's who I'm going to be. I'm going to be like her. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm a hippie.
I'm probably a little bit more like Robert De Niro, you know?
Yeah.
You want to stay within the circle with me. You don't want to be outside the circle. You want to be within the circle.
You know what? We're going to be speaking about Robert De Niro next week on our show. A
Is he
very
gonna be here?
serious topic. He might be. He might make a guest appearance.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's so cool.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Read your piece of paper, okay?
Okay. There's a church in New Zealand called the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. Lucky, Mariana, and Toby were the first to legally get married there in a pirate-themed wedding aboard a pirate ship. Because, of course, this Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster teaches that all human descendants come from pirates. Okay, so...
You always descend from the one that lived before you.
Oh.
Fact of life. Okay? So, anybody that lived before you, you are a descendant of. Capiche?
Capiche. Well, that's the story, but the church isn't really what I'm interested in this whole thing. So the church calls themselves worshippers of a spaghetti and meatball god. Okay. The myth...
This is true, unfortunately.
Yeah. The myth of the flying spaghetti monster was created by a 24-year-old guy named Bobby Henderson now in 2005. Since then, thousands of people have paid $25 for a certificate of ordination as a minestrone. Instead of a minister, a minestrone. A lot of people have simply declared themselves followers and have become pastafarians. And this is true. I'm not making puns on the name. But a judge in Nebraska ruled that this belief system is not a religion. However, the people go out of their way to make their assembly known. These pastafarians have actually won the right to wear their religious headgear, which is a pasta strainer, in their photographs on their driver's licenses. Yeah. They've put up noodle-themed banners alongside Christmas trees on public property.
Robots can fix this.
They could.
Robots can fix all of this.
No, we have to accept them, Scott. They
Accept
don't want to be
what?
fixed. We have to accept robots. We have to accept people wearing strainers on their heads.
If we
have to get along with
find
everybody.
people that we don't like or don't get along with, we simply have to put a robotic people in their place. They can look the same. They can, and they just won't do any of these stupid things. And then they'll always agree with anybody they want them to agree
Well,
with.
they'll get confused. They're going to think they are a robot because they're wearing strainers on their head.
No, they won't wear the strainers.
People
So,
won't. Oh,
right,
I get
we'll
it.
just replace them with people who...
Robots who believe
Robots.
in
We're
the
just
monster god.
because we
Oh
want to
my
be tech
gosh.
savvy. We want to be smart. We want to be smart. We want to grow with this
Well,
world.
it's people like this why robots probably are a good idea.
Yeah, true.
Oh.
This is why we need them. We got to get rid of these goofs.
So Toby, the man who just got married, said that their deity is just as valid as any other supernatural deity. Really? Because it's not supernatural. It's a myth. It's made up. So it's not real. At least
It's
these
got
people
no
truly
history
believe
in
it.
It's got nothing but...
I know you
it's all
don't
made
believe
up.
in a spaghetti monster, Toby, but these two people do believe in Jesus Christ. Yeah. All right.
And any recognized, for any unbelievers or anything there, the little FYI, no validized religion of any kind has ever denied the existence of Christ.
Right.
They've just denied who he is. Even the Quran and stuff like that, Jesus is in the Quran.
Well, atheists don't
as a
believe
great
them.
leader and a great spiritual, person, not as God as the Christians know him, but just a little FYI there for those that say, "Oh, Jesus, this or that." I don't believe this or that. I'm like, all the great religions of the world recognize him as the very least a great
Teacher.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
at the very least.
I agree. So their creeds mock organized belief, particularly Christianity. Okay, and I get it. There's a lot of hypocrisy, and
Yep,
man has messed
yep.
up the truth and
Robots
made
won't
it
do
religion.
That. They'll
I
make
get
it right.
But Bobby says while they might not all believe in the literal truth of their doctrine, neither do many followers of other faiths. So basically, they're just doing it because they can and to spit in the face of people who have faith in other religions.
Well,
so this story may be sort of funny and crazy,
kind
but
of making the two wrongs are supposed to make a right thing.
Yeah, pretty
It's not
much.
going to.
But to me, being a Christian, I find the whole church thing stupid and offensive. Not so much that it demeans God, but because it belittles life. Like, life is about faith and joy and all that
You gotta
stuff.
have faith.
Yeah, you gotta have, what's his name? George Michael.
Crop circle.
Now, Webster Dictionary defines church as a building for public and Christian worship. But through time, they've had to sort of add on to that because people complain, well, we're not Christians, so we want more definitions, and then they had to change it. But the term comes from the Christian God and his word. Through time, though, when people stop believing in him, they sort of change that.
Right. No, this is where we fail as a society. Just like truth has become subjective, so are the terms and definitions.
Yeah.
So, if we don't have a solid foundation set for us to start with, how solid is our stand or anything else?
You gotta have, what does our pastor say? If you don't stand for something,
You'll fall for everything.
I don't believe it.
It's true. You have to stand for something, and it's nice to stand with facts and things that are real.
I don't think
And
standing for nothing is standing for something.
No, that's what some people say. Stand for nothing, and then we'll be okay. I mean, too many people want to be their opinion from others about them. They want to be correct. So if they stand for something that they've read and understand is truth biblically, and it's not the popularity vote in the neighborhood, well, suddenly they don't want to be the oddball, so they're just
Right.
going to go believe in something else. It's difficult sometimes just to stand for something that's truth, even when it hurts. I mean, how many times, if you're not going to your services and going to the church, and occasionally you're not leaving offended or realize you did something wrong or messed up, then you're in the wrong place. Because a church is teaching you truth.
Spiritual growth.
It's spiritual growth. And if anybody that's going around, we got the whole go to the church and have the whole feel-good atmosphere that Jesus loves you and he'll always love you no matter what you do. All you have to do is believe and give me some money. It doesn't work that way, okay? That's not the real world. The real world says, you know what? You've messed up. You're a sinner. You're a screw-up. This is what you got to do to straighten it out, okay?
Yeah, at least try.
Yeah, I mean, it's the way it goes. Just with a child, it ain't no different than being a parent than it is going to church.
Exactly.
So.
Well, some of you might be like, what's the big deal? This is just a story, but it's just one story, one example of many things like this. So, we're like so vain and so spoiled.
We're so vain.
So prideful.
I think you think this. Oh, sorry.
Uh-huh. So most people don't even know that they're
Simon.
vain or spoiled or prideful. So I guess ignorance is bliss, I guess.
Stuff it is, it's stuff it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the church definition has to be eventually expanded on, and now they're going to just change everything.
This has been a Heidi Soapbox moment.
Thank you very much. Sorry about my rant, but it ticked me off.
So, if you want to go back, the word church was used when Jesus told his disciples in Matthew 16:18. He said this. He said that he would build his church upon the rock that Peter declared. Now, this word rock meant the firmness and the strength of the soul, which was that Jesus was God and that all things Jesus taught were truth. Jesus said the gates of hell would not prevail against that truth. Now, church here means this. Those that are called out are called forth. He was talking about calling people out for truth and choosing for eternal life in heaven.
So that's what church meant there.
That's what church meant. And the way I had learned that word rock was that upon this truth, upon this revelation, he's telling Peter that I am God, that I will build a church off of this power, this truth, this stable situation.
Yeah.
This is what I will build a living
and something about
church
the strength of the soul too. It means strength of the soul.
Yeah.
So that's right. Something like that. Okay.
Right.
I guess.
I was serious for like a couple minutes in a row there. And
That's good.
I need a break.
Okay. Well, to me, a church built around a spaghetti monster is just idiocy and demeaning. So I know I'm supposed to respect everyone's beliefs, but I think I get a free pass on this one because
Find the
that's
whole
just
thing
stupid.
to be noodling.
Oh, God. All right. So, okay, we got all that out of the way. We almost spent an entire hour on news, but we're going to get into ghost hunting shows.
All right. So,
Okay, can you do
the rise of the ghost hunter. The growth of paranormal acknowledgement in society. We are accepted, yay? Not so much. Better hold off on that for a little bit.
We want to talk about the validity and influence of these shows. So paranormal is so mainstream right now. It's like a fad, but when we were ghost hunting, there weren't even shows on.
Right. That's because we were ghost hunting before there was ghosts. I ain't got nobody. Nobody cares. Anyways, now, paranormal is normal. You hear it discussed almost every day.
Yep.
If we keep getting all this evidence, it is so extraordinary.
It's not so extraordinary.
It's not.
No. If we keep getting evidence, what's so special about it?
Is it?
It's not. Because it's not evidence.
Right.
You don't even know. You're talking about crop circle. So if people are ghost hunting all the time,
Right.
and all of a sudden we have all this evidence, it's not even exciting anymore. So
Yeah.
the point is
Yeah.
like a lot of that evidence isn't real. So
Some of that evidence in some of the shows I've seen is so stinking weak. I'm like, oh boy, come on, that's a stretch.
yeah.
Do you hear it? He's clearly saying the entire alphabet backwards in Greek.
It's like, no, he's not. I don't know where you're getting that from.
Do you hear him say, "Get out"?
No, I didn't hear him say get out. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, the paranormal is called a field of investigation, but what about the supernatural experiences? I mean, when we're doing this, we're losing the mystery and excitement of spiritual encounters. We're losing, like, I don't know, the excitement of it. We don't know what's going to happen, and it's like people are so, I want to say mechanic with it. You know, it's like, okay, we're going to do this, and we're going to ghost hunt this, and we're going to, it's like, okay, everybody just calm down. How about just enjoying this whole spiritual moment? I don't know. But, you know, it's like, let's take a selfie with Casper. I don't know. It's so complex. It's sort of beyond our comprehension, the supernatural. So people are thinking that they can take like a ghost box and an EVP and they're going to capture us. It's like, I know they're trying to get proof and stuff or trying to, I don't know. I don't understand why people are doing it. But they're so dependent on the framework of investigating that they almost can't even define the whole study itself. But what we know is the whole thing with ghosts, okay, what creates an interest in the paranormal, okay? Think about it. Why would we be interested? Why were you and I interested in the paranormal?
It's the unknown.
Right.
It's the spookiness. It's the, I guess, the excitement of it too, though. I mean, it's like anything that you're unaware of. To experience it excites you.
But so if we started going every week and getting evidence
Like
every
our
week,
first date.
yeah.
I don't know, just keep going. We ain't got
Well,
time
people
for this.
don't. Yeah, people don't know what that is. My house was haunted. Scott experienced a haunted house on our first date, so that's what he's talking about. But ghost hunting reality shows are a huge influence on people's thoughts, opinions, and knowledge of this.
They're basically taking what they see and hear of people on TV and making it gold.
So it's like, oh yeah, that's what this is. That's what it means.
yeah.
You don't know what a poltergeist is? Well, so and so said.
Yeah, so-and-so said.
So we got to be careful with what other people say because people tend to forget that these are reality shows that we're watching. And here's a perfect example. Sci-fi show, Ghost Mine. Okay, came out in 2013, so it's fairly new. They claim to be completely real. But it's hard to believe when the two stars, which was Kristen, I think, Lumen and Patrick Doyle, they were not exactly legit ghost investigators like they claimed. Kristen was actually a hired actress. I even saw her website. She was for modeling and acting. And Patrick, he actually believes that paranormal shows are for entertainment only and tricking viewers. He once had this website called Haunted Hoax. And he had videos that he made up there where he showed how ghost stories and ghost shows were faked evidence. But he deleted the site and the YouTube videos when he got the whole gig on Ghost Mine.
Sure, yeah.
So he's like, oh.
So now we know spirits exist and don't deny some of the experiences and evidence is legit. But you and I both know to be in the dark searching for spirits in the silence of a ghost tour, the intense moment of the seance or the senses are heightened just
For the imagination.
to fuel the imagination.
Yeah, just to get it going.
I mean, we've been on some real stuff that wasn't televised. Oh, we had plenty of action.
Yeah, we did. But that's also because in our personal lives, we were messing around with some stuff we shouldn't have been. So I think we've been drawing stuff out. And the paranormal encounters...
Some trippy stuff, man.
Paranormal encounters are more than entertainment. They have emotional reactions, and these experiences can even be life-changing. So when you enter in the television aspect, whose job it is to get viewers and make money,
Right.
they're entertaining the validity of this area. They cross the line from reality to entertainment.
Exactly.
And TV says paranormal reality shows are good implementation for skepticism, but that isn't how they frame the shows. Reality doesn't make money, so they infuse the drama. Like Ghost Hunters.
Really. If anyone remembers, the first year was boring, and as far as encounters and evidence go. Now, it was hyped up because in the first wave of this kind of show, but nothing really happened.
Yeah. And we remember that. We were like, this is so cool.
And I can understand that from Hollywood's TV's point of view. It's like, wait a minute. I mean, what you can feel is happening someplace or not happening someplace may not be something that seems to be a big deal on television view.
Right.
But when you're there and you can actually feel things going on around you, pretty hard to show that in a film.
Yeah.
Do you feel that? Well, it's not going to do much for a viewer.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but when you're standing there, nothing's around. All of a sudden, something brushes by your head or moves your hair or something, or picks up your skirt or pulls on your pants or something. You might say, "Okay, well, nobody did that."
I think your personal experiences are always more, I guess, freaky than getting a picture or EVP or something. It's like, oh, that's cool that you got one, but you'll never forget when a spirit touches you or pushes you or just something.
Just like when we went through that vacant warehouse or that
asylum,
and I walked through and I started wiping my face, and one of our people are with us and says, "What'd you get, a spider web in your face?" I says, "Yeah," but she already knew the answer, and she looked at me. She says, "I just walked in front of you, and I went through there first. Don't you think I'd have the spider web in my face first?" In other words, she already knew that I got touched, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah. Because
but then
it happened.
It happened again in a few other times.
They said it was common to get touched.
Right, it was common to get. It was just a real light touch, and I thought it was a spider web. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of smirked at me.
The thing was, there were no spider webs in that place anyway.
No, there wasn't. But it was just funny because she gave me that little smirk because she had some abilities to know a few things, and she just smirked at me like she knew, like, ha.
Well, and that's the thing, though. That's what I'm saying. Those experiences you can't take away. So when, people are so honed in on getting evidence, it's like you're sort of taken away from the experience. And then you've got reality TV that's taken away from the validity. It's all messed up. Now, if you take Jason and Grant from TAPS, they were pretty serious in their work when they started. Ghost Hunters made it through season 1 because it was that new concept. But the show's producers knew that they had to up the game because nothing was happening. It wasn't going to work out. All of a sudden, season 2 comes along. TAPS started experiencing more, gathering more evidence.
And when it was happening, you and I called it back then in 2005, I think. People who were so into the show, they were all bad-mouthing us for hating on TAPS.
Yep.
And we weren't hating. We know how TV works from experience.
Yeah.
So we weren't hating on these people. We know the push that the producers and things are going to give these people. Say, look, you want this show? And of course, it's money for them, too. And, it's like, who doesn't want to do this? But it's a business.
And, like we've mentioned plenty of times before, when we used to do this stuff before we realized the dangers of it and we stopped doing it. But when we used to do ghost hunting and paranormal investigating, we had a lot of TV shows and book people contact us because they wanted us.
That's where I got my fame, babes. Right there, you got it.
But we had to turn it down almost every time because they lure you in and then they try to change stuff and they lie.
No more spinning the head around there in this show. People don't understand it.
Like in Ghost Hunters, okay? Do you remember the video footage? They were at the East State Penitentiary, and all of a sudden it looked like a ghost in a black cape. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, it was ousted to have pant legs visible underneath. And now when you watch the video, you'll see that it was actually, because, obviously we slow it down frame by frame. Back then, you're watching it happen. You're like, oh, my gosh. But pause, and you do it on YouTube, you can see it was actually someone running. And in 2005, when they did the scene on the Queen Mary, I remember this. The show's producers were exposed for faking evidence. They made the covers of the bed appear to move on their own. Now, TAPS, they supposedly were unaware of this, and they actually wrongly blamed it on a Queen Mary staff member. But she was later proved that she wasn't even on board the ship anymore. She had already left. So, it's like TAPS said it was someone else, and then so who knows? And then Donna LaCroix, who's a former TAPS team member from Ghost Hunters, she gave a radio interview about a show's stage evidence. So she's even coming out saying it, And you have to remember, these are reality shows. So what does that mean? I don't know, because it's not really reality. It's faked reality, if that even makes sense.
Right. So, then you get the occasional live show. Broadcasting a live show increases our participation. We're following along, and we can't pause.
Yeah.
It's like we're right there with them as it happens. The live aspect heightens the belief about if it's real or not real, because it's live. How can it be faked?
Mm-hmm. I wish people would feel that spirituality is not a science project. Everybody's trying to dissect it, and
Maybe the robot can prove it all for us and straighten it out.
there you go. See, and that's going to suck away spirituality. It's the mystery is the best part, and
See them program the spiritual senses into the robot, a feeling.
that'll never happen. You have to have a soul. You have to have a soul.
I do believe there is a ghost in here.
Yeah.
Oh my, there it is.
Oh God.
I am scared.
Okay, that's just creepy on its own.
My tear duct is dry.
Phil,
I need saline.
Do you remember when I was growing up, I remember they didn't know what the Northern Lights were. And I thought it was the most amazing thing. I saw it in books. And I'm like, I'm going to go there one day and I'm going to see it and I'm going to be amazed. Now we know it's the Northern Lights. But back then, when I was a kid,
they are.
Right, what it's caused from.
by, yeah.
But back then, we didn't know. And it was so amazing. And it's like, yes, they're still beautiful and we know they are, but that mystery is still, that's gone. That sort of coolness about it. Yeah. So it's, to me, the same thing as with paranormal, It's like oil and water. You cannot completely merge the two. You can't, science can prove a lot in the paranormal, but the thing is, we can't comprehend the spiritual aspects of it. So for us, we have to be able to understand the spiritual in order to dissect it. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Right, you must take the pebble from my hand.
You can't merge oil and water, no matter what, unless you alter one or the other. So unless you're going to alter the truth of spirituality or the truth of science. And no one's going to be doing either, so it's not going to happen. Another example of faked experience and evidence is Travel Channel's Ghost Adventures. It was a huge story. Aaron Goodwin was a member of the investigation team. He actually went on a podcast and explained a lot of the show was false. He claimed the crew would record their own voices in place of actual EVPs. The production would make them go back and film fake reactions to those fake EVPs. And then he says they started out with good intentions, but eventually the activity and experiences weren't consistent enough to be interesting, so that's why they changed what they had to do. And they were already locked into these contracts. And you get to like people knowing you, and you like to be famous, and having money come in a little bit, so they get comfortable. But Aaron stated that he got tired of being a liar, and he was being made a fraud by people, so he came out and started telling the truth. Well, Travel Channel fired him. They claim his allegations are untrue.
Of course they would.
And they don't know why he said the stuff that he did, but they assume he had some feud with his members or something.
Of course.
And the show's still on, despite this.
Some people are just fine hearing what they want to hear. The problem is too many people look at these shows to learn things, but it's really just for entertainment. You're really not going to learn anything.
Right.
Not going to be no education.
No.
Like, to catch a ghost, you first build a box.
But that's the thing, what's happening. That's what people are doing. Yeah. And it's just, these shows have been positive because in a way it's brought the subject matter of the supernatural to the forefront. However, I think it does a lot of damage too because they don't have the truth, and they're giving these answers as if it is truth. And people are just
they're downright lying.
Yeah.
These shows mislead people.
Right. Big time.
Yep.
They encourage them to dabble in the supernatural which is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Kids watch these shows too. And, you've got fake paranormal shows, you've got fake Christian healers, you've got phony mediums, psychics who are charlatans. So there's deception everywhere. It's awesome to be open-minded, but my dad used to say that if you open your mind too much, everything was going to spill out. So it's good to be skeptical.
Oh, he was deep, wasn't he?
Use the 3 R's: reason, rationality, and research.
Open your mind too much, everything's going to spill out. Well, that'll wrap it up, folks. TV can't offer answers to serious questions about life after death. Only you can when you die. So, why do we think we can get the answers before that?
Yeah, if you guys get anything out of this show tonight, I hope it's that your interest in spiritual things is not paranormal. You can have an interest in the paranormal, but search spiritual stuff. Use what we said for self-reflection on belief and skepticism. Decide if you really want to know if there are ghosts, or if you really want to know what happens to our souls when these bodies die, because the answers can be very different. Okay, so no rock and reject because we ran over and we had the emails. But next week, we're going to be talking about illness and spiritual oppression, from fibromyalgia to mental illness, and how we know what's what.
And until next week, remember, if your knowledge ain't on the level, you ain't merely dancing with the devil.
Hey, this is Heidi from Talk Supernatural. You know I like to talk, so let's keep the confab hot. Follow us on Twitter at TSR Parapod. And check out our Facebook page, Talk Supernatural Podcast. We air for you, so hit us back. We'd love to hear what you think of the show, too, so email us, talksupernatural@gmail.com, and we'll give you a shout-out on air.
Check out more from Talk Supernatural Radio. Head over to tsradio.net. You can listen to TSR on iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and YouTube. If you have any questions or would like to know more on spiritual afflictions, hauntings, demonic influence, check out Scott and Heidi's SWAT resource site at EPH612SWAT.com.
This world's a tortured place to be. So many things to torment me. And as I stumble down this road, it takes a toll. I need an intervention. But I can see it coming. Some things just can't be explained.
And that's all, folks.